Bodies Understanding Eating Disorders by Alicia, Veronica, Heather, Isa, and Mariah. Have you ever looked in the mirror and wished you could change something about your body? Or felt pressure from social media to look a certain way? You're not alone. Today we're going to be talking about eating disorders, specifically anorexia and bulimia, and how they affect people your age. Because sometimes what someone is going through isn't obvious on the outside. Why this matters. There are 10,200 deaths per year per one death every 52 minutes. Eating disorders often start during teen and young adult years, and they're more common than most people think. The hard part is many people don't show obvious signs. Someone could be struggling and still look fine on the outside. That's why it's important to understand what's really going on and how to help. What are eating disorders? Eating disorders aren't just about food. They're about how someone feels about their body, their self-worth, and sometimes their need for control. They can be influenced by things like stress, emotions, and pressure from others or social media. So even if it looks like it's about eating, it's actually much deeper than that. Anorexia nervosa. Anorexia is when someone severely limits how much they eat because they're afraid of gaining weight. They might feel like they're not thin enough if they already are even if they already are underweight. This can look like skipping meals, eating very small amounts, or exercising a lot to burn off calories. For example, someone might skip lunch at school every day and tell themselves that they are being disciplined, but inside they are actually struggling. Over time, this can seriously harm the body. Bulimia nervosa. Bulimia involves a cycle of eating a large amount of food in a short amount of time called binge eating, and then trying to undo it. This may include vomiting, using laxatives, or over-exercising. This often happens in secret, which makes it harder to notice. For example, someone might eat a lot when they feel alone, feel guilty right after, and then try to get rid of the food. Even if someone looks healthy, they could still be struggling with this. Risk factors. There's no single reason why eating disorders happen, but there are things that can increase the risk, like comparing yourself to others, especially on social media, and feeling pressure to look a certain way, or dealing with stress, anxiety, or low self-esteem. Activities that focus on body image like sports, dance, or fitness can also add pressure. It's usually a mix of different things, not just one cause.
Some warning signs to look out for include being overly focused on calories, food, or weight, avoiding eating in front of others, or making excuses to skip meals. You might also notice mood changes like becoming more withdrawn, irritable, or anxious. Physically, someone might feel tired, dizzy, or weak. If you notice these signs in yourself or someone else, it's worth paying attention to. Eating disorders can affect almost every part of the body. They can lead to heart problems, stomach issues, hormone changes, and even death. They're also closely linked to mental health challenges like anxiety and depression. Even if the effects aren't visible right away, the damage can build over time. There are a lot of myths and misconceptions about eating disorders. They are not a choice and they're not about being vain or wanting attention. They can affect anyone no matter their gender, body type, or background, and you don't have to look sick to deserve help. If you're struggling, you don't have to deal with it alone. Talking to someone you trust, like a parent, teacher, or counselor, can really help. If you're worried about a friend, try to talk to them in a supportive way. Don't judge, just listen. Even a simple, hey, I've noticed you haven't been yourself lately, can make a big difference. Small conversations can make a big difference. Resources and support. There are people who want to help and take this seriously. School counselors, doctors, and trusted adults are good places to start. There are also hotlines and organizations that offer support if you're not sure who to talk to. There's a National Eating Disorders Association helpline, 1-800-931-2237, National Alliance for Eating Disorders, 866-662-1235, and the Suicide and Crisis Helpline, 988. Recovery is possible and getting help is a strong and important step. Now that you've learned more about eating disorders, take a moment to think about what stood out to you. Next, please take the post test. It's a quick way to see what you've learned. And remember, your health matters. If you're someone you know is struggling, reaching out can make all the difference.